Guess I need help. I'm posting this from my car parked at a truck stop just outside Kaiser, Arkansas. My parents own a cabin in rural Tennessee. Since they're getting older, we've been splitting the responsibility of caring for the property. I go down there by myself a few times a year to get away from the city and check up on the place. I usually stop in Kaiser because they have gas, a grocery store, and a little park where I can stretch my legs if I need to. I have the next couple days off work and decided to spend them at the cabin, so I packed up and left town. Everything was completely normal until I stopped in Kaiser. I pulled off the highway a little after 3 o'clock and went to the park, thinking I'd go for a walk before getting some food. Nothing was out of the ordinary at first, but as I crested the first small hill, I saw a woman with a stroller blocking the path. She was looking at her phone, unperturbed by the harsh sunlight beaming down on her. I approached her with trepidation. I found it strange that she'd choose to text there instead of in the shade of the pavilion to her left. Maybe she was having an intense conversation via text. I tried to quash the more worrisome thought, maybe she's on drugs. I tapped her on the shoulder. "Everything okay, ma'am?" I asked. The woman didn't look up. She didn't even seem to realize I was there. I went to pass her on my left side when I saw the baby and stopped. It wasn't moving. Its face was bright red, and chubby little arms lay listlessly against the navy fabric of the stroller. Orange-yellow vomit, long since dried, crusted around its mouth and down its shirt. Oh my God, my voice trembled. That child was dead. I was sure of it. She was standing out here on her fucking phone, and her baby was dead, and she didn't even seem to notice. Gingerly, I reached out and tapped its hand. It was warm, but not as warm as a living human should be. The woman snapped her head towards me, and I jumped. She pressed her lips into a soft, vague smile. I smiled back, hoping it would dispel the confusion I felt. "You're so pretty," she cooed at me. My smile faltered. Before I could respond, she pointed her phone at me. I saw the minute movements of her thumb pressing down on the shutter button. I held up a defensive hand and tried to keep my voice calm but urgent. "Mom, you should move to the shade. I'm going to call an ambulance." "Officer, there's a woman in the park with a baby." A burst of static drowned out the end of my sentence. Voices from the cops' radio. I could make out snippets. "We need backup. EMTs en route. Not responding, need." I listened, the churning in my stomach getting worse every moment. The officer leaned out of the window and smiled at me. "You're so pretty," he said. I started to back away. "Let me take your picture," he repeated. Unable to speak, I shook my head. The noise from his walkie stopped, replaced by a clear male voice. "Let me take your picture." What sounded like an explosion crackled through the device, followed by screams and shattering glass. A few seconds later, the original sound rumbled across the parking lot. I looked in the direction of the sound and saw a pyre of smoke rising into the cloudless blue sky. The cop got out of his car, soft smile on his face, phone pointed at me. I didn't let him finish. I ran to my car and got the hell out of Kaiser. I drove a few miles down the road and stopped at the truck stop where I am now. "So, can someone please help me get in touch with the authorities? 911 still isn't answering, and I really don't know what else to do. I can't get the image of that baby out of my head. Even worse, although it might just be paranoia, whenever I catch a glimpse of myself in a reflective surface, I can't help but think, I'm so pretty. I should take a picture. I should